One thing that I talked about today is the importance of taking into account plumbing consideration in policymaking. And what I mean by plumbing are kind of the details of how policy is implemented. And of course, most of my work is on developing countries, but those issues very much apply to European countries. For example, there is a big fight in Europe these days about immigration and refugee inflows, and the questions that are being asked are mostly about how many refugees should come and where they should go and who is responsible for letting them in. But one thing that has received less attention and might be much more important is the detail of how refugees are processed once they arrived, and the difficulty or the ease of getting the papers that allow you to work, etc. And those plumbing issues were not given that much emphasis. For example, in Germany, when they decided to let in a lot of refugees, which was very generous at the beginning of the crisis in Syria, all those refugees who arrived, firms wanted to employ them, and they of course wanted to work, and they came with a lot of skills, in particular very skilled people from Syria, but they could not get processed fast enough. The logistics of processing them was not there, and the result is that they ended up spending a lot of time in camps, and they ended up spending a lot of time not working, and the population turned from one where they were really willing to receive them to one where they became hostile, and once you have that political problem on your hand, it becomes a much harder problem to solve. So there it seemed to me that if the plumbing issues had been taken into account very early on, and to say, well, how are we going to, if we're going to let in a lot of people, not only we have to make sure that they have a place to stay and they have some, something to eat, but we also have to find a way to very quickly process them to put them to work. That would have completely changed the political conversation we're having in Europe today.